Tragic news for Ethiopians. Dozens of Ethiopians have been killed in an incident. Second news story is about Tigray Dissident Fighters. They have released some pictures. Welcome to my views and news views. Thank you for watching the channel. Good to be with you. Two main topics. Firstly, an airstrike has led to casualties. A strike conducted by the US, and most of the victims are Ethiopians, reportedly. Uh, the strike was conducted in Yemen since Donald Trump, new US president, came to power. He has been intensifying airstrikes on Houthi fighters in Yemen. Houthis have been attacking commercial ships which pass through the Red Sea. US President Trump warned Houthis against attacks on commercial vessels, saying that if Houthis did not stop attacks, US will take action on Houthis. And this is what happened. So since March, US government, US forces have been conducting airstrikes, drone strikes on Houthi targets in Yemen. And over 800 strikes have been made so far in the last 45 days by the US government, US forces on Houthis. Over 200 have been killed in the last 2 months. US claims that killed are Houthi fighters. This strike, which was conducted, it was conducted in Sada Governorate of Yemen. And the place which was hit was basically a it's basically a center for migrants. Illegal, you can say. The facility was hit, and the people there, African migrants, majority of them Ethiopian, they were killed. How many? Houthi sources say around 70 migrants were killed in this airstrike by the US military. CENTCOM, Central Africa Command, has not, US Africa Command, not Central Africa, US Africa Command has not issued any statement so far about claiming the responsibility of this attack. What is very painful to see is that whenever these Ethiopians, they leave their country for better economic opportunities. That is why they risk their lives. They hire human traffickers who take them to Djibouti. And from Djibouti, they try to reach Yemen by sea. And on their way to Yemen, sometimes their boats capsize. We have seen so many incidents in the last 2 years involving boats carrying Ethiopian migrants capsizing and Ethiopians drowning. Hundreds have died in the last 2 months in these boat capsizing incidents. The first challenge for them is how to reach Djibouti from Ethiopia. Second challenge, how to reach Yemen from Djibouti by sea. When they enter Yemen, they're at the mercy of Houthi fighters. Houthi fighters demand money, and if they pay money, then these migrants are transported to Yemen, Saudi Arabia border. Strikes ongoing on Yemen, it means anytime, anywhere, they can be killed. If somehow they manage to reach Yemen, Saudi Arabia border, then another threat is there for them. Saudi border guards open fire at people who try to enter Saudi Arabia from Yemen. Indiscriminate firing. Some human rights organizations published reports about it. These Saudi border guards kill people actually who try to enter Saudi Arabia from Yemen. So this is how these Ethiopians who survive, they managed to enter Saudi Arabia. They work there for a few days, weeks, months, and when they are detained, they are found there and they're captured by the government there. They are put in prisons, and then the Saudi government asked Ethiopian government to take back its citizens, and these Ethiopians then return to their country. A vicious cycle. Then again, they depart on this perilous journey. So this is painful to see. Who is to blame? Obviously, first culprit is the US. It has the best intelligence networks and communication equipment in the world, but still it was unable to identify the target on the ground. The target was a center used by migrants. Second culprit is obviously the Ethiopian government. As I say that they say about Eritrea that if Eritreans die abroad while trying to reach other countries, Eritrean government is to blame because they could not create job opportunity for their people. Same is the case with Ethiopia. Painful to see, and no one will be held accountable. I mean, who will hold US accountable? Imagine US citizen dying in dozens in an airstrike. What would US do? But might is right in this world. No one will be held accountable, and people will continue dying. Secondly, viewers, Tigray fighters, dissident fighters. Some people are calling them Tigray Special Peace Forces. They have released pictures of some communication devices which they are in possession of. These Tigray dissident fighters are gradually building their capabilities. They managed to form small units. They managed to obtain cash to pay salaries. They have small arms. They're in need of communication devices. Pictures have been shared by these Tigray fighters who are in free zone. They call it free zone where they are based. Where is this free zone located? In Tigray, in Afar. It's in Afar. It's on a far Tigray border and deep in Afar as well. They have released pictures showing the delivery of these communication devices to them. Devices include handheld sets and some long distance communication devices. At least one long distance military communication device can also be seen in the pictures released by these Tigray fighters. Batteries, chargers of these communication sets have also been shown in the pictures. Small development, people would say, Sajid, you should not make a video on these small developments. It's not a small development. This is how Fano started. And today you see, this is how these Tigray fighters are starting. It will take time for them to grow. They'll grow bigger. You'll see that. Gradually, they'll organize themselves. Gradually, they'll find allies. Gradually, they'll find sponsors. And then those who will be leading and backing these fighters, they won't easily give in. Why? Because their interests will be linked to the continuation of this armed resistance movement. They'll be the beneficiary of this armed resistance movement. That is why I'm saying this is the time to talk to these fighters. Otherwise, several players will be involved. It will be difficult then to handle all the players, to convince all the players. This is the time to start. I'm not aware of any meaningful, constructive public engagement announced by TPLF or Tigray interim government to talk to these fighters. They're not confirming their presence. I mean, I haven't heard from Tigray military, Tigray Liberation Front clearly, openly talk about these fighters, that where they are based, how many they are, what is being done to tackle this situation. Nothing is being said by TPLF or Tigray interim government or Tigray military. Thank you for watching.